I like how Dunn. I like how Dunn penetrate, didn't see anything, kicked it out, and then put it back down into Pinckney's hand.
So in case you missed it, starting the game, a three-pointer by Kayla Walter, and then 2 points and a foul for Peyton Pinckney, but she couldn't complete the three-point play. So right now, 5-0 lead, approaching 3 minutes played here in the first period.
So the strategy offensively for the Wolverines has been get it down inside to Pinckney or to Hope Hawkins, and then on a made or missed, they're coming out into the 1-2-2 full court trap. So they've come out quite aggressive to get the 5-0 lead.
Missed shot by Greensburg. Hawkins trying there. Puts that one in. Nice way to fight through the contact. And a 7-0 run to begin the game.
And mind you, Hawkins is only a freshman. Nice give and go.
Nice play there. Walter steps in for two. Hawkins looked like she came up a little gimpy, but she's fine there.
Was it gimpy or a finger? Because I sure heard something hit.
Greensburg Salem coach Rick Klimshock did not like this start for them. This was not the start that Greensburg Salem wants, especially when they're a little bit offensively inept. This team has only scored more than 37 points, 37 or more, 5 times in 12 games this season.
Well, it is apparent that on the offensive end for the Lions, that Abby Mankins is going to have to take control. She hasn't taken one shot in the last, 6 minutes we've been into the first quarter already? And she hasn't taken one shot attempt, and neither has any of her teammates. They've all been turnovers. So they have to get more aggressive in not only attacking the basket, but like their assistant coach said, they got to shoot the ball.
Interesting because this has been up until this little 3-game losing streak. This team was 4th best in 5A in defense, and then with consecutive games of 50 points or more scored, that's now pushed them back to around 42.8. That's middle of the pack in this conference, and with a team that offensively sometimes struggles to get baskets, it's really important for them to shut it down defensively.
Absolutely, and they haven't done either thus far. They're on the offensive end. They've struggled on the defensive end. Woodland Hills is dominating in the paint.
Jenkins first to the floor on offense with the first, and it's Wolverine ball. Currently nothing going right for Greensburg.
So as the Lions may have been the 4th best in defense, it has been the Wolverines that's been on the aggressor with the traps on both ends.
Halfway through first period of action, Dunn on the drive, floater. Not this time. Fighting for a rebound was Kaufman. Everyone on the ground there. Kaufman, a jump ball. Possession arrow goes to Greensburg Salem.
Yeah, you want to just try to do what you can to get your motor started, being aggressive.
There's Mankins, 2-2-1 for the Wolverines. Now Mankins past the timeline with Walter guarding. 2-3, Walter on the drive, kicks it over for two. Smith gets that one in.
Yeah, that was a big basket because the basket has been quite close since the start of this first quarter.
So almost 5 minutes played, and it's Greensburg's first basket.
Yeah, Mankins, I still say, needs to take some shots. It's good to get your teammates involved, but you sometimes have to set the tone.
Also a little short there. Rebound Greensburg Salem. Here's Abby Mankins around the back. That's a Kayla Walter special there, but couldn't advance forward. Now it's Smith.
Let's see if they cut off the baseline on this particular possession.
Mankins Jordan towards the middle. Say that again. All right, so 7-2 Wolverines, 2:29 remaining in the first period. Walter inbounding with the Dunn.
We had Sierra Guest enter the game for the first time for Jasmine Fisher. So Woodland Hills just got bigger.
Pinckney. Over to Walter. Kayla Walter, handoff to Dunn. 2:30 remaining. Dunn lost the handle there. Picked off by Mankins. Mankins
You know, when you talk about size, both teams are big, 6 foot and above. You know, the Lions have 4 players, and Woodland Hills, they have 3. But, you know, Woodland Hills gets taller with 6'2" Sierra Guest, number 10.
Peters stolen away by Walter. Nice play jumping over. Walter's climbed on too. There's Dunn all the way.
Justin Dunn for the Wolverines.
Good outlet, good finish by Dunn.
9-2 run to begin the game for the Wolverines. A minute 50 left. Mankins for 3 on the wing. Not this time. Rebound. Carmen Vasquez. Walter. Pinckney calling for it. There's Pinckney underneath the basket. Yes. Couldn't handle it. Fighting for the ball. And it's a
Possession area has the ball.
Yeah, that was a great pass by Pinckney. You got to be ready for those hands. Get those hands ready for that dish off.
Unfortunately, possession arrow belongs to Greensburg Salem.
Yeah.
5 seconds remaining. Wolverines up 7. Score is 9-2.
The Lions thus far have handled the Wolverines' full court press.
Caitlin Mankins, Abby Mankins. Here's Caitlin inside, surrounded by Wolverines. Baby hook, gets the friendly laydown.
Yeah, soft finish by the younger Caitlin. Caitlin Mankins, yes, yes.
Pinckney, a minute 8 remaining. Pinckney on the drive. Pinckney. Pass Caldwell off his glass and in.
For the Wolverines.
Strong penetration by Pinckney. Add 2 more.
4 points for her. 11-4, 53 seconds remaining. Stopping up Kaufman. Volleyball tapped around. Dunn wanted it there, but they call a. Looks like, is it a foul or is it on Dunn?
Foul on the Wolverines, number 5, Jasmine Dunn.
So unfortunate there for Dunn. Volleyball
Return
tap
for the
a little bit
Wolverines,
like you would in 2K back in the day.
All right,
That
right.
didn't work out for her.
But you got to keep coming back with that aggressive play. Balls, loose balls in the air. You have to go for it.
So 46.8 seconds remaining. Wolverines 11. Golden Lions 4. Here's Mankins.
So it looks like they're going to play for 1 shot. Now, I'm always skeptical about teams holding the ball for 30 seconds or more.
You have to wonder when is Bob Pitts going to activate. And there it is. Fire. Here they go. Mankins on the drive. Mankins. Wolverines looking for some steps there, but they didn't get the call.
No, I didn't get the call, and Mankins was heady because Woodland Hills came with 2 at her.
22.1 remaining. Wolverines 11. Golden Lions 4. Mankins gets it over to her sister. Pinckney stolen by Katie Pinckney. Pinckney. Fast break. Drops it off. Vasquez off the
Carmen Vasquez for the Wolverines.
6. 9 seconds remaining. Abby Mankins. 5 seconds remaining. Mankins stops up. Gives it out to Caitlin. Lost the handle there. Kaufman. No time remaining. Is that a
Your
whistle?
score for the end of 1 quarter. Woodland Hills Wolverines
Wolverines
13.
13. Golden
Greensburg
Lions
Salem
4.
Golden Lions 4.
Yeah, 13-4 into the first. And, you know, for Mankins, she has to be a bit frustrated. She's definitely a team player working to make sure her teammates touch the ball. But if you have a shot sheet right now, they have very little shots anywhere on the floor. She needs to be more aggressive and attack the basket to score, not to pass.
You have to wonder, but Woodland Hills, they got the scouting report from the last game right there. Mankins loves to drive baseline. And really, the Wolverines have done a good job at limiting baseline drives. Mankins has had to attack a little bit differently. She stopped out for a 3 over there, and that's something that I don't exactly remember her doing. It wasn't really much three attempts by Greensburg Salem, but it's something that she had to do because, well, the inside shut down.
Yeah, well, Mankins has attacked the middle opposed to the baseline, but what she has found was that there's a clog of white jerseys in the middle, which has then led to some deflections and steals for Woodland Hills.
So we're about to restart this game. I want to mention our referees tonight are John Best, Chuck Prutz, and Dave White. So Pinckney on the inbounds to begin the second period of play. 9-point lead for the Wolverines. 13-4 is the score.
They're following the game plan. They want to work the ball around, get the ball inside, whether that's on penetration or a pass.
Fisher lost control there, almost going out of bounds, trying to save the ball, stolen by Greensburg Salem. Mankins. Clinchot calling 4. What does that mean?
Well, hopefully it means 33 goes to the basket to get a score, reposition herself, and her teammates find her.
Kamaya Lewis had a little bit of injury trouble. 2 points in the last game, but it wasn't an ankle injury as
Travel
testified
violation.
to. It was more
1
like
minute.
just leg cramps. Her first game back tomorrow night as there was a traveling by Greensburg Salem. Ball to the Wolverines.
Yeah, no indication that Lewis is injured today. She's doing quite well thus far as far as moving.
So we're approaching and now at 1 minute played through the second period of action. 9-point lead for the Wolverines, 13-4 to score. Vasquez over to Pinckney on the wing. Wing to wing goes Fisher. Inside, Guest. They call a possession error.
Greensburg Salem.
Goes to Greensburg Salem.
She brought the ball down. She's only a sophomore. She'll learn how to come squeeze that ball with elbows out. That will eliminate that little guard from coming down here and tying that ball up in the future.
Well, Woodland Hills has a lot of post specialists, and that's one thing that I bet Klimchak and crew have looked over for Greensburg Salem because they were getting killed in the post. That's where you see Peyton Pinckney do a lot of her operations. Almost stolen and now stolen by Vasquez. Nice play there.
Yeah, nice anticipation. She gets the steal.
Pinckney over to Fisher inside. This is Hope Hawkins. Hawkins, she'll go to the line.
Yeah, the whistle went a little faint on us, but we understood what happened. The official's whistle went a little faint, so now we see Hawkins, goes to the line for 2.
Timeout, Greensburg Salem.
So Greensburg Salem will take another timeout. 6:16 remaining. Score 13-4 Wolverines. But let's talk about post play a little bit. We've kind of seen like a how to and how not to in that situation. Sierra Guest just got a little bit caught up there trying to move into post and Hawkins, the freshman, just on catch immediately on the dribble going towards the baseline.
Well, when you play the post, first of all, you need to play big. Woodland Hills, all their posts, they have great hands, so that eliminates, any bobbling of the ball. But when you get the ball, you want to chin it, and then you want to go up immediately into your move. Feel a defense if they're behind you. That's a total square up and off the glass. Just kiss the glass and count it and 1. But when you bring it down in your chest below your stomach, that gives opportunity for the other team's guards to come down and Venus flytrap you and tie you up.
So really, that's just a quick fix. It takes time really to get that out of your head to realize that maybe sometimes, but it's kind of a trick because sometimes I've seen a lot of situations with the Wolverines in which they move a little too fast in the post and they didn't activate. It's just like, how do you get that feel?
So you get the feel by feeling where the defense is. Like, that's how you eliminate that first dribble. If you feel the defense is, see where the players are, then you decide, do you pivot and score, or can you go with the dribble? But you have to read the defense. That's how you eliminate jump balls and travels.
So 2 at the line for the Wolverines. We're still looking for our first points in
Returning
the
for the
second period.
Wolverines, Jasmine Dunn, Kayla Walter.
So right now, substitutions in for the Wolverines. Jasmine Dunn and Kayla Walter come back in as the Wolverines go traditional short. 13-4 is the score, 6:16 remaining in the second period. But Hawkins couldn't hit both at the line, so we remain 13-4.
Yeah, defensively, Woodland Hills is doing a very good job on the defensive end.
Mankins to her sister around the back. Nicely played there with the assist. Caitlin Mankins, she's the secondary scorer right now, actually leading scorer with 4.
Well, that's worked 2 for 2. So from older Mencken to younger Mencken, Abby needs to continue to find her sister.
Wolverines missed their shot there, so right now just kind of playing a little bit of the Greensburg Salem. They want it to be a muck and grind, a team fight, and really just defense all the way down throughout the game there. Here's Mankins on the drive, crossover.
Well, she got away with a little extra step there. It's still Greensburg Salem's ball.
Underneath, no call to foul on Hawkins there.
you definitely played to the whistle, so that's a good thing on all the players' part. But you have to have good footwork. We just watched Mankins finish her first free throw attempt.
So Mankins only goes 1 for 2 at the line, but right now it's a 6-point lead, 5:18 remaining. Kick around the corner, Fisher steps back out. Fisher for three, that one's short.
It's
Lightly touched by Mankins though.
yeah, partially blocked by the 5'10" junior, Abby Mankins.
So right now, all 3 points belong to Greensburg Salem. That's more their style right now. Here's up top, Katie Peters.
The thing with Mankins is she's looking over the defense. The defense is just sitting back, and they just launched Cadence Peters just launched a 3-point shot that hit the rim, bounced off, tie-up balls going to Woodland Hills.
Absolutely. So nice little play there by the Wolverines to get the ball back. 6-point lead, 4:40 remaining. So here's Jasmine Dunn bringing it up for the Wolverines. 2-3 zone for Greensburg Salem. Walter. Vasquez. They try to break the zone. Vasquez inside, throws it up. Here's Pinckney. High off the glass and in.
Good follow-up off the miss by Pinckney. That was a good drive by Vasquez. And Pinckney was able to find the miss, and throw it down.
6 points for Peyton Pinckney. Lewis. Tapped out by Pinckney off of Mankins.
Yeah, good hands by Peyton Pinckney. Ball was right in front of her. Those are steals.
Abby Mankins, 1 point. Surprisingly, she's been held in check. Peyton Mankins almost lost it there. Now it's Abby. Abby on the drive. Gives it off to Caitlin.
Right now, it's the sister show. It's the older Mankins to the younger
Back out for the
Mankins,
Wolverines,
Caitlin Mankins,
number
who
2,
set the line to shoot
number
two.
2, Peyton Mankins.
I don't know if you're able to think of a nickname like Sam Timberstan for Jasmine and Bailey, Golden Girls. We'll give you a little bit of time. First one doesn't go
Turning for Greensburg Salem,
for Caitlin
Marissa
Mankins.
Caldwell.
A little over halfway through. She hits her second at the line. So just over halfway through, 3:53 remaining. Wolverines 15, Lions 8. That one doesn't go for Dunn.
Ball goes to
Yeah,
Greensburg
Ball's
Salem.
out of bounds.
what's interesting, for as much as Greensburg Salem has been struggling, it's 15-8. They've climbed themselves pretty much back into this
Timeout,
game.
Woodland Hills.
Their offense hasn't been hot, but they've managed to score just a few to bring the game back into competitive mode.
So head coach Ron Pitts, who used timeouts effectively in their last game to really try to rein in the Wolverines and try to get them back into posture, and really it helped out their offensive production, as though they started a little lean, but they had 10 points in each of their quarters against Penn Hills. They had 10 in the first, 10 in the second, 10 in the third, and they went up to 15 in the
Okay.
fourth. So it's steady offense, though we're used to Wolverines kind of getting out going a little before. You have to wonder if the play
Game here, the Lions have set their 2-3 defense back a little bit below the free throw line. But you know what? You got to take advantage of your strength, and that's the bigs. Throw the ball, get the ball down into the bigs. Let them draw some fouls and some and ones.
one thing the Wolverines did handle pretty well was 2-1-2 zones. Up top, Carissa Caldwell. Mankins to Caitlin. Give and go, Abigail. Maya Lewis up top. Carissa Caldwell. Now Katie Peters. Up to Caldwell. They throw it around. 3-2 zone again for the Wolverines, as that was something that the Greensburg Salem Lions couldn't handle.
Yeah, they're able to look over the defense You know, there's a younger Mankins, 32, Caitlin Mankins, that threw a little soft lefty up that missed everything, but that was a good look.
Dunn wanted to drive baseline, stopped up by that for three. Pinckney, not this time. So 2:50 remaining, 15-8 to score in favor of the Wolverines. Caldwell dropped it off. Peters back to Caldwell. Caldwell. Nice contest. Tapped away
Call made
by
on that
Walter
one.
was there, but
Returning the
beforehand,
Wolverines,
Kayla
Jasmine
Walter with
Fisher.
some nice defense as well.
Yeah, they're getting their hands on the ball, some deflections. You know, that's going to result in steals. You know, they could get more aggressive. They've attacked the ball a few times and got some deflections and steals. You know, stay with what's working.
2:28 left in the half. Mankins for three. Against Carissa
Three,
Caldwell.
Caldwell.
That's really their first perimeter shot this first half by Carissa Caldwell. That was a three.
2:08 remaining. That one out of
Call
bounds
made
off
on Woodland.
Greensburg-Salem. 15-11 Wolverines, approaching 2 minutes left in the second period and in the first half. Fisher to Dunn, back to Fisher. Pinckney on the elbow, drives, floater. Gets the
Pinckney
rebound.
for Woodland Hills.
Yeah, that was a big basket for Woodland Hills. You know, they have come down and missed several shots and some come up empty in some possessions. That was a huge shot by Pinckney.
Yeah, sometimes empty possessions has been a thing for the Wolverines, but for the most part this season, in the games that we've shown, they've been able to overcome it.
Another word for those empty possessions are scoring droughts because you're not able to score on those possessions. You know,
Lions much better in this second period, 7 points scored so far.
I think one difference with Woodland Hills defense this second quarter, which has allowed Greensburg Salem to get some shots, has been the defense is sitting back.
On the drive, one more pass off the Mankins. That one rolls around and goes through.
Yeah, to my point, where Woodland Hills was quite active attacking the ball, they've sat back and allowed the Lions to pick apart the defense.
So 1 minute remaining, 4-point lead for the Wolverines. Here's Walter up top. On the wing, Fisher. On the elbow, Pinckney. Fits it over in the corner, and now it's Walter driving through. Fisher, 45 seconds remaining.
So to eliminate the collapse, you got to shoot some outside baskets just like that. She didn't score, but the perimeter players need to bomb away from outside.
Abby Mankins, 29 seconds remaining. So they're going to try to hold for the final shot right there. Much improved second period for the Golden Lions.
Yeah, I attribute that again to the defense sitting back and letting Mankins just look and pick apart the defense. You got to put pressure on the ball.
Peters, Abby Mankins, Caitlin Mankins on a slight delay. Here's Fisher, 4 seconds remaining. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, and 1. All the way up and fires. That's going to end the period and the half. As it's the Wolverines 19 and the Greensburg-Salem Golden Lions 13.
13.
And I love Fisher's heart. She has no fear of anything.
Absolutely, usually attacking from outside like she has the last 2 games, but that's a nice confidence builder as we'll see as she'll look to fire from beyond the arc in the second half.
Yeah, the second half, Woodland Hills is going to have to come out and shoot and score from the perimeter. Greensburg has set back inside the paint. They've taken away the post play of Woodland Hills. They're going to have to make some baskets from outside beyond the arc.
Right now, the leading scorer in a change of heart for the Greensburg-Salem Golden Lions is Caitlin Mankins with 8.
Yeah, that's because her sister, I haven't got a nickname for him just yet, but she's been finding her down low wide open. The younger Megan has been able to post up numbers to numbers. She has good hands also, and she's been getting some good looks right inside the paint. That's been the difference. That's 2 differences. One, of Woodland Hills, they're sitting back in that defense. They need to attack the ball. And 2, Caitlin Megan has been able to get the ball and score.
Absolutely. So we'll be right back on the Roxamore Sports Network as at halftime it's the Wolverines 19 and the Golden Lions 13. the Greensburg Salem Golden Lions 13. And we apologize for any technical issues that we had during the first half. Everything should be all worked out, and we should be good to go for the second half of action. And right now, the leading scorer in the game for the Wolverines is Peyton Pinkney with 8 points. And for the Greensburg Salem Golden Lions, Caitlin Menkins has 7.
Well, I tell you what, Greensburg Salem, they have fight in them. I mean, they've come back from like a 13-4 deficit in that first quarter to be only down by 6 at halftime. So this second half can prove to be quite interesting if Woodland Hills is not able to figure out that sagging defense by the Lions.
Absolutely. They were down 9 points to end the first period of play, and they scored 9 points themselves in the second quarter. So it's going to be interesting to see how Greensburg Salem's offense and defense continue to create havoc for the Wolverines as we're underway here in the second half. As it's Menkins bringing it up past the timeline, 3-2 zone for the Wolverines.
So one key to the Wolverines defense is going to be attacking the ball. They stepped back way too passive in that first half, and you see what happened. It resulted in, a competitive game right now, 6-point lead by the Wolverines, excuse me.
So that first foul was on Peyton Pinkney. On the inbounds, underneath the basket, Menkins gets that one to go.
That is a heady play. You never turn your never turn your back to the ball, right? Heady play by Greensburg Salem.
So 4-point lead for the Wolverines. It's done. Circles around. Here's Vasquez. Walter kicks it inside. Pinkney, low block. Couldn't get the shot up well.
So as I mentioned at the end of the second quarter, the key coming out offensively for the Wolverines is at the guards. That means Hawkins, Walters, and Fisher, they're going to need to shoot some baskets from the perimeter.
Caldwell to Smith. Right now the game's going more like the style of the Golden Lions, but it's only a 4-point lead for the Wolverines.
They've slowed down the tempo, and again, go man-to-man, switch up your defense. Coach Pitts is known to change his defense. He's sort of settled into his 2-3 zone.
Actually, now it's kind of warped into a 3-2.
Yep.
There's Menkins. Caldwell. Abby Menkins. Tapped away. Nice play by Vasquez. Will stay with Greensburg Salem, but active hands by Vasquez. Kicks it out of bounds. On the inbounds, Menkins. Crossover. Menkins driving. Kicks it over for 3. Caldwell. Yes.
Yeah, penetrate and kick. Penetrate and kick, and that's Caldwell's second 3 of the game.
So we're on.
Sometimes when you slow your defense down, you also slow your offense down. Woodland Hills needs to shoot from the perimeter and score some baskets. It'll open up that post again.
Fisher over to Dunn. Dunn stepping out to the wing up top now. Drops it off Walter. One more handoff Fisher. Vasquez driving. Vasquez floats it up. Not this time. Ball stays with the Wolverines there.
Boy, they were fortunate on that possession. They were not sure what they wanted to do for Woodland Hills.
Here's Dunn. Floater high off the bank. Couldn't bank that one home.
So let's see what happens on defense now. Let's see if Woodland Hills picks up their defense or changes their defense, which they have. Fantastic. They've gone man-to-man, going to put some pressure on the ball.
5-0 run for the Golden Lions as they cut it down to 1. Menkins on the drive. Menkins over Vasquez. Not this time. Gets her own rebound back. Walter stole it. Everyone on the ground now. And on the hold, it's Lewis. Possession arrow will remain with the Wolverines.
Love the dine on the floor for the loose ball. And then, the ball's free. Go get it. You got to be the aggressive. Pick up your tempo. Pick up your pace, right? Let your offense start to dictate what's going to go on.
Dunn, floater. Little short there. Fisher for 3.
Not this time, as it'll go out of bounds. So right now, the Wolverines kind of hurrying their shots a little bit.
Yeah, no need to rush. It's no shot clock. Really, you need to really continue staying that man-to-man. Pressure the ball. Take the ball out of Abigail Mankin's hands.
So now the Wolverines, Walter couldn't handle the defense there, but Mankins couldn't hit the shot. Long pass on by Dunn, but no one home. Greensburg Salem with the ball. Right now, the Wolverines a little out of sorts.
Yeah, slow it down, but make it up on the defensive end. Just get more discipline in your defense. Play with hands and feet. No steal, no reaching.
Caitlin Mankins, leading scorer for Greensburg, 7 points. Now Abigail Mankins. Mankins screened, hard screen by Mankins. But it's stolen by the Wolverines. Pinckney lost the handle to Mankins. Mankins on the drive. One more pass. Lewis gets that one to go, and Greensburg has taken the lead.
Wow. Definitely a turn of play here. You know, Woodland Hills will be fine. They've come out of that zone, right? But what has happened is that Abby Mankins has found a few of her teammates that have scored tonight. That's been the biggest difference. You know, but defensively, as Woodland Hills become more disciplined and just play with their feet and hands, and they've been getting deflections. They get the deflection, get the steal, and see what's happening down court.
So 7-0 run to start this half for Greensburg Salem, as they've managed to thwart a lot of what the Wolverines want to do, which is kick it inside, try to go inside, outside. And right now, the shots just aren't falling for the Wolverines.
Right, it's not falling because Greensburg Salem has packed their defense down into the paint below that free throw line. As I've said before, hit one or two outside shots, that paint will open wide open again.
So let's see what the Wolverines do out of this timeout. Halfway through the third period, down by 1. Walter. Over to Dunn. Dunn. Cross court. Fisher. Vasquez almost lost the handle there, but Fisher gets it. Here's Dunn. Walter with Peters guarding her. Walter on the baseline. Up top, Vasquez. Vasquez to Pinckney. And they call a push there.
Wow.
So Hawkins checks in for Vasquez, and maybe that could be the answer for the Wolverines, as Hawkins is not afraid to fight down there for post shots. And off the inbound, Pinckney for 2.
It's going to be on the defensive end that Woodland Hills settles in and regains control of this second half.
So Wolverines back up 1, 3:20 remaining in the third period. Junkyard fight here. Katie Peters almost stolen away by Walter, but now it's stolen away by Hawkins. Hawkins, fast break. She's all alone off the glass, couldn't finish it.
You know,
and they call a jump ball there.
That steal was set up by Kayla Walter. She didn't get the steal, but Hawkins was right there to get the deflection.
So right now, fighting for the ball has been the key for the Wolverines, as now they're in a little bit of a fight. 3 minutes left in the third period. 1 point lead, 21-20.
Yeah, again, attack this ball. Like, don't allow Mankins to look over and pick your defense apart. Go out and make her handle the ball. That's the senior out there leading her team. Make her handle it. You allow her to look over, she's going to find it. She makes some very smart decisions.
And it's stolen by Dunn. Dunn all the way. Dunn gets the basket and the foul.
Very nice job by Jasmine Dunn. Got the steal in control, laid it in. Now she'll make them pay at the free throw line to finish the three-point play.
So man-to-man defense has now been the solution for the Wolverines. Getting fast breaks out there, but there's one thing that Greensburg Salem has done is they've used screens defensively. Screens is a way to get around them, actually.
Yeah, Woodland Hills picked up their defense. I have to take my put on my coach hat here, Tyler, and call that defense.
Now another defensive play.
Nice
done.
Pass.
Fisher, nice play
pass.
there. And just like that, the Wolverines answer back with a 7-0 run.
Can I say pressure the ball, Tyler? Can I say that? Because that's exactly what has made the difference in these last 2 minutes.
Absolutely. Great pressure by the Wolverines, switching up that defense as Vaughn Pitts, almost like a surgeon, dissects the problem and makes it happen, and it's great to see that.
You know, the game is, basketball is a game of adjustments. You can't stay with everything the whole game. You got to throw your opponent off. Like that chess game, making that next move. He's made that move, went away from that passive defense, and said, hey, let's get some steals and easy baskets. That's what's happened.
So what does Greensburg-Salem do to answer this right now? It seems screens are the answer there. I remember there was one player on there in the Tuesday night game, Victoria Sarver. She had a couple tough screens on the Wolverines, and we seen one from Caitlin Menkins that managed to make, I believe it was Walter, fall down there. So is that the key against man-to-man?
Well, if that's what they do, yes, but you can also do some clear-outs for Abby Mankins, right, because she loves to penetrate and kick out. Do some 1-4 low. Let her handle the ball on the perimeter and create a shot for her teammate. That's one other answer for that defense.
So inbounds for Greensburg-Salem as everyone in for the Wolverines. Lewis skies it over, almost lost it, Mankins, and no call foul there.
So the other thing that is happening with the press, Woodland Hills has changed and started to dictate tempo with that press, and the press is aggressive. It was a little passive earlier, but they've picked up their pace.
That's been one of Greensburg-Salem's bugaboos, really. They want to slow down the tempo. They're a lot like the grit and grind Memphis Grizzlies in a way.
So
there's Mankins.
There was that 1-4 low that I just mentioned. Got a shot attempt but didn't score. Woodland Hills is being aggressive. Great pass again. That's a Dunn to Fisher combo. Second time in a row, Tyler.
Absolutely. 6 points for her. 8-point lead for the Wolverines. 1:46 remaining in the third. And they call a reach in there.
Wow, that was a clean pick in that pocket. She put that change out, and Kayla went to go grab it. Walters went to grab that change. Had to give it back.
Unfortunate there, but keep on working out because sometimes the referee's not going to be as ticky-tacky on that one. So Abby Mankins over to Kylie Smith. Now Caldwell, but she threw it nowhere, but Smith gets it back. And they call a reach in there.
Walters, Dunn, and Fisher, they are all over the ball. They're denying those passing lanes. They're deflecting the ball, and they're resulting in some steals. Yes.
So it went from the zone to man-to-man for the Wolverines, but it seems like they've entered back into it, looks like it. 1-4, as you mentioned earlier.
They're denying those passing lanes and getting deflection. Play with your hands, not your feet. Play with your hands, not with your feet. Right? Get your hand caught in that cookie jar, just like Dunn has. Call for the foul.
Unfortunate third foul on Dunn. So Vasquez will enter in for Dunn, who caught up in a little bit of foul trouble. 70 seconds remaining in this third period. 8-point lead for the Wolverines, answering back from a 7-0 run by the Lions.
Yeah, the defense has been a difference for Woodland Hills to be able to stretch out that lead to 8 again.
From one Mankins to another, couldn't get that one to go off the glass. Rebound, Carmen Vasquez bringing it up. Fisher, Pinkney stops up. Walter steps away from her defender for three. Not that time, unfortunate. Lewis on the rebound, and they call a travel. 41.8 remaining in the third period.
Yeah, I don't think so. Woodland Hills on the offensive end, they can get whatever they want. You know, just take your time, pass the ball around, and take the best open shot. Read that defense. There it is. Nice pass to Hawkins. Great hands for the freshman.
That's been one key for the Wolverines off of inbounds right there. They have though they have a lot of defenders, Greensburg Salem's able to counter it with their length. But Woodland Hills, they sometimes just have these smart, heady offensive players able to make these plays and get these quick inbound fouls.
Take what the defense gives you all the time. It always results in something good.
That one doesn't go for Hawkins. 40.1 seconds remaining, 8-point lead for the Wolverines, 28-20. Both don't go.
Yeah, that one was on ice, hit the side of the glass. She'll get that back on the rebound.
Wonder what the whistle was for there. No over the back, no foul called. Anyway, here's Mankins. 35 seconds remaining. Abby Mankins. Mankins on the drive. Mankins stops up. Lewis. Katie Peters for three. Rattles that one home.
Yeah, so that's the third three for the Lions this afternoon. The first one by Peters.
Stops the run. 9-0 run before that. Walter wanted to answer back. Pinckney fighting for it. And she'll go to the line.
Yeah, nice.
6.8 seconds remaining.
Good job attacking the glass off of the missed shot by Pinckney.
So Pinckney at the line, 6.8 seconds remaining in the third, 5-point lead. Can't get the first one. So Sarver enters in for Caitlin Mankins, so they still have heavy screens available for them. It's going to be interesting to see what they do. 6.8 seconds remaining. Pinckney, a little short on that one. 5 seconds remaining. Time still winding down. Abby Mankins gets through defenders, throws it up.
Wow.
Off front rim. Not this time. That'll end the third period of play as it's Woodland Hills 28 and Greensburg Salem 23. So the story is early on to begin getting out of the break. A 7-0 run for Greensburg Salem. And then Woodland Hills answers back with a 9-0 run that really was built off of man-to-man defense, going away from that 3-2 zone, which worked earlier this week against Greensburg Salem, but Greensburg Salem was able to solve that with other offensive contributors. It wasn't Abby Mankins, it was Caitlin Mankins who came to play, and really that's how you can attack the zone, one of the ways inside scoring.
Yeah, the 3-2 defense, it was passive. So what I mean by passive, you were allowing the offense to pick over and look over your defense, right? You weren't really moving with the ball. You were reacting opposed to being anticipatory, okay? Then Coach Pitt said, hey, that's enough of that. Let's, force the tempo. Came out of that zone. Next thing you know, Woodland Hills getting steals and ones.
Absolutely. The pace really picked up for them. And
Yes.
that's the key for Woodland Hills whenever they get into the WPIAL tournament and in turn maybe fighting for a state championship if everything goes well for them. It's picking up the pace. It's not having as many empty trips to the line. It's getting out in space. It's making those easy layups and stuff like that that'll help them.
Defensively, Woodland Hills is quick enough to play man. They're big enough to play the post. Offensively, they have some perimeter shooters. 3 out by the tray and inside. It's just a matter of being disciplined and taking care of their basketball.
Walter floater, not this time.
So one thing here, if I can just say, the key here is that, Abby Mankins penetrates, but cut off that pass because she's not going to shoot it. Penetrate, and she's looking to dish it. Be ready to deflect or steal that pass out, the kick out.
Peters over to Caldwell. Katie Peters, Kayla Walter guarding. Mankins almost lost a handle there, but it went over to Caldwell. Kicks it back out. Lewis. Abby Mankins, baseline drive. And they call a foul there.
Yeah, here's an adjustment that Greensburg Salem made. They've taken the ball out of Mankins' hands and allowed her to move on the perimeter. So you just seen it. She touched the ball twice in the offensive end and was able to draw a foul going baseline, which she loves to do.
Caldwell hands it off. Mankins.
So again, you see how Woodland Hills is sitting back. Don't allow her to sit back while coach is calling the offense from the sideline. Make her handle that ball.
There's Peters, steps up for three. Not this time. Rebound, tapped around. Mankins got it. Swatted away by a Woodland Hills player. Here's Dunn. Couldn't handle it, but got it back. But lost it out of bounds.
Yeah, so you are ahead right now, okay? So you get the ball in the front court. Just let your offense develop. No need to hurry.
So Caitlin Mankins back in for Victoria Sarver.
Boy, you know, Coach Pitts, he could jump the ball here. You know, make Mankins, you know, throw her off balance. She's just so comfortable looking over the defense.
Here she goes, baseline again. And she'll go to the line.
Yeah, to get her out of her comfort zone, right? She's just looking it over, right? And the defense is reacting opposed to forcing the tempo and making her pass the ball. Get the ball out of her hands.
So in hockey, there's something called the left wing walk, which basically forces defenders to be like, it's three away. It's like a 2-3 in basketball where one winger goes back into a defensive posture. Should Woodland Hills go to a 2-3? Could that shut down the drives?
No, Woodland Hills needs to pressure Abby Mankins, who's standing at the point, just looking over the defense while her teammates are standing there watching, right? Make a move up on the pressure. If I'm sitting and literally the social distance on the court is not where you wanted to have happen. You want to squeeze that ball and force some person to handle the ball like Mankins. She's too comfortable up at the point.
It's interesting, 4 points only, but she's really been a part of, and Vasquez for three. So just like that, Woodland Hills answers right back.
So we haven't called Vasquez's number too much this afternoon.
Yeah, absolutely. She had a good game to begin the season, but she's more of helping out defensively and really moving around. But she likes to be spotted up in the corner. The Chris Bosch position is what I call it, for three. And this time she hits her shot. Mankins, quick passing. Caitlin Mankins. Peters for three. Couldn't answer back. Vasquez couldn't handle it. Hawkins fights for it.
So good job for Woodland Hills, but you got to communicate. You had three players on the same team touching the ball. Communicate, yeah, I got it. And the other two back off and you run your offense. You attack.
So now it's Mankins up top. There's Caldwell to Peters. Inside, Abby Mankins steps back, stolen away. Nice play by Pinckney.
Seeing man and ball results in a steal.
7-point lead, 5:18 remaining. Dunn for three. Not this time. Pinckney on the rebound, and she'll go to the line.
Once again, Pinckney's in good offensive rebounding position. Not afraid to take it back up. She'll go to the line and earn two.
So Mankins the foul on Pinckney, and Pinckney will go to the line to shoot two.
Yeah, this 5 minutes, got 5:11 left in the game. This is a big stretch for Woodland Hills. They're going to have to put some baskets on the board because as we've seen already, the Lions are not going to go down easy.
So before the second free throw, Von Pitts calls timeout. 8-point lead for the Wolverines. And right now, again, it's really been the runs from the third period that has sustained Woodland Hills' attack. Right now, the scoring is a little low here. Only checking my numbers right here. 4 points scored by Woodland Hills, only to 1 for the Lions. And that's been one of the things for the Lions. It's like they have these little bit of spurts, and then suddenly the offense closes up. And maybe one of those things was that man defense, that pressuring there. And it's crazy because it's Caitlin Mankins that has been the scorer for them, and usually Abby, she would be in double figures. I think around this period she got into like maybe 15. So it's going to be interesting to see if she decides to attack more often because, again, she's the bell cow of the offense for this team. And it's strange to see that they've been able to flow without her because usually they would be down massively without her help.
If you hit replay, I've been saying all game that Abby Mankins needs to attack the basket and score. She's been a penetrator and a passer, not attacking the ball. She has to get that scoring mentality. And one thing for Woodland Hills, because you got 5 minutes, be ready and expect a press by the Lions.
Absolutely, 5:11 left. 8-point lead for the Wolverines. Pinckney for a second shot.
It wouldn't be a bad idea for Woodland Hills to press right now and to keep the level of aggressiveness going. And there they go. Great call, Coach Pitts. Oh, that's a little hop and a skip, a little travel there.
2-2
Got
and
the
1.
turnover, nice.
So nice, almost, I guess it was kind of a passive trap, but they were waiting for him to move up. But when they tried to move up, Lewis lost the handle. So here comes Woodland Hills on the attack. Fisher over to Vasquez for 3 in the corner. Nice rebound by Pinckney, kicks it back out to Vasquez.
Now there's
Fisher,
no hurry. There's no hurry
crossover.
on the offensive end, Tyler.
And Dunn for 3 in the wing. Couldn't get the friendly bounce. And it's Hawkins cleaning up the garbage there. Nice shot by her.
Well, I tell you what, Hopkins is going to be a terror by the time she's a junior in the WPIL.
Only a freshman. Plenty of years to come. Mankins on the fast break. Couldn't get that one off the glass. Rebound, Vasquez. So it's Pinckney, and they'll slow it down.
Right, still be deliberate in your offense. You don't want to really take the air out of your own offensive bubble. Attack it, pass it, and look to score.
Right now, mini run for the Wolverines since coming out of the break. Vasquez. Right now, a 7-1 run. Dunn, halfway through final frame. Pinckney near the foul line, flights it over. Hawkins saved it. Vasquez fought for it, and it's off the hands of Mankins, and it'll remain with Woodland Hills.
Yeah, Woodland Hills was fortunate on that possession. There's no reason to force the ball in. Take it easy. You can get a good shot. Be patient on that offense and get a good, easy shot in the paint. Maximize your size.
So it's Kaufman in for Peters. Here's Pinckney. Hands it off. Fisher on the drive. One more pass. Hawkins. Oh, that couldn't roll home. Hawkins fighting for it. And they call a jump ball, and it will belong with Woodland Hills.
I tell you what, that Fisher, she's always in high gear. She comes off that bench, and her wheels are turning, boy. There's smoke coming out of those heels of her shoes.
Skying over to Pinckney. Up top. Kicks it over. Dunn. Vasquez. Hands it off. Sloppy handoff for Fisher, but they'll call a foul on Kaufman. So a little bit of a sloppy play there, but it works out, and there's a foul.
Well, you can hear Coach Pitts saying, settle down, right? Great call to his team. You know, they're in control. Just take care of the basketball. That rock is really important right now.
Well, you could say the magic number for the Wolverines is 37, and they're 2 points away from it. Ball tapped out of bounds, going to Hawkins, remains with Woodland Hills. As I mentioned at the top of the broadcast, Greensburg Salem, 37 points only 5 times in 12 games. And here it is, it's Hawkins for 2.
That was Fisher to Hawkins on the 2.
Mankins around the back, gets away from her defender. Back tap and stolen away by Dunn. Mankins wasn't happy about that one. Referees say play on. Here's Vasquez handing it off. Dunn.
I know she wasn't happy,
Pinckney
but she got away
for
with
it.
a push.
And they call a travel.
You know, I said we know Mankins wasn't happy with that last possession, but here at the half court right in front of us, she got away with a push.
So 2:53 remaining, 13-point lead for the Wolverines.
Keep the pressure on. Keep the press on. Stay aggressive defensively.
Caldwell over to Kaufman. Kaufman with Dunn guarding. Back to Caldwell with Pinckney guarding. They kick it back up top. Now here's Abby Mankins.
Look at that Fisher's feet moving. Love it.
Mankins, she'll go to the line there.
So when Mankins is off the ball, what you can do, you can push up on her. You know, it's almost a face guard, but you want to cut down her space to where she can't have room to even get the ball and where her teammates have to look away from her. That's how you keep the ball out of her hands.
So Mankins gets her first at the line. Only the second point for Greensburg Salem so far in the fourth period. A game that was in reach, kind of going out of reach for them. She completes her trip at the line.
So now they just, Woodland Hills, handle a press, get the ball in the middle, run your offense.
Only 6 points for her. 11-point lead. Here's Walter. 2:15 remaining. Pinckney. Here's Dunn. Top of the W. Dunn. Here's Walter. And Von Pitts calls timeout.
Good call. You know, you're coming up on 2 minutes left in the game. You're up by 11. You know, call your offense, get your defense set, and be sure to get the right proper pass. There's no hurry for them on the offense. Really, in a few minutes, they're going to be playing the clock more so than Greensburg Salem.
Absolutely. So 1 second before 2 minutes, so right on time, we're at timeout. So it's going to be interesting to see. Now Woodland Hills is in front. They've managed to create a couple stops against them. They brought out a run that really, you could arguably say it might have iced the game for them, but Greensburg Salem, they've been able to get some shots going and enough defensive possessions. Suddenly you can look up and it's only like a 5-point lead.
Right. That's why I say defensively, Woodland Hills, please stay in your man-to-man defense. Attack the ball and cut the space down on Abby Mankins. Make somebody else score.
So here's Dunn to Fisher. Posting up Pinckney. Pinckney spinning, gets it over to Fisher.
Tyler, that was a good reset by Pinckney. Great recognition that she didn't have anything clear to the basket.
Walter with Kaufman guarding her. Lost her dribble, stolen by Lewis. Tapped away, but it got back to Walter after all of that, so they'll call a foul.
So it's a good play. You know, Walter, what she did, she picked up her dribble. So it created chaos all over the floor. Luckily for Woodland Hills, they retained the ball.
So Peters will come in along with Caldwell for Kaufman and Smith. 1:32 remaining. Both teams in a bonus, so it's a 1-1. Walter gets the first one.
Adding one to the score is always a good thing coming down the home stretch.
And she gets both at the line, so she'll add 2. 12-point lead, 92 seconds remaining in the fourth period of play.
So they've come out of that man-to-man, Tyler. They're sitting back in the zone.
Peters kicks it inside. Mankins to Mankins. That one doesn't work, but it stays with Greensburg Salem.
Coach Pitts changes his mind about bringing in a sub.
Yes, it would have been Asia Fowler. But Pitts changed his mind. 1:17 remaining, 13-point lead. Woodland Hills 39, Greensburg Salem 26. Mankins over 2 defenders. That one doesn't work.
That was her first jump shot of the afternoon. 1 minute to go, she shoots her first jump shot.
It's Walter, 1 minute remaining, 13-point lead. Walter gets away from Mankins, crossover. Drops it off, Dunn. So after all of that, maybe a little bit of indecision. It takes off about maybe 9 seconds or so.
It's going to become a free throw shooting game right now for Woodland Hills. It's sort of like if you're in practice, at the end of practice, you got to go to the foul line and make free throws. Well, that's where Woodland Hills is. Make free throws and add to the lead.
Dunn gets the friendly roll. So Woodland Hills gets to 40, though. It's almost a never would have made it type of 40 points.
Sure.
I think you have to look at it with Greensburg Salem. It's about, okay, now it's getting dependable scoring right now. They typically get it from Abby Mankins, and really an Abby Mankins that comes into this game from last time out. Probably we're looking at a little bit more closer score.
Well, she came into the game. That's another 3 for Caldwell. That's her second of the afternoon, I believe. But I was saying that Abby Mankins came in 4 games in double figures. Is she double figures this afternoon? Because she struggled.
No, she's not.
Right. I didn't think she was. She struggled this afternoon offensively. She was more of a passer than a scorer this afternoon.
Yeah, they really need more dependable secondary scoring. They got it out of this game. And now the missing ingredient, ironically, just wasn't there for it. It's just, again, 4 great games for double figures. If Greensburg Salem gets into the WPIAL tournament, and that's on their volition, again, they're really going to need more scoring around them, because games like this can happen where your horses just don't have it. I mean, again, 5 games in 6 days, they're tired. It's going to be difficult. It's hard for most NBA players to be in double figures for 4 straight games, and I'm very sure, certain that they do not play 4 straight games in a row.
Well, as coaches would say, you know what? You're 14 to 17 years old. You should be able to play those 4 games back to back to back and make things happen for yourself. That's what good teams do. That's what winning teams do. It happens to every team.
25 seconds remaining. Guest inside off the glass, not this time. Rebound by Mankins. Abby over to Kylie Smiths. Catches up to the ball, but it's a traveling. So right now, Woodland Hills looking to ice it away. 12 seconds remaining. And it's stolen by Lewis. Lewis, 4 seconds remaining.
No
Lewis
foul.
all the way. No one will foul. Not this time, as that'll end this ball game, as it's the final score. The Woodland Hills Lady Wolverines 41 and the Greensburg Salem Golden Lions 29. So again, the story of the game, Peyton Pinkney, 12 points. Though even with it being a low score, there was a lot of contributions by the Wolverines, as when shots got tough, they had to give the ball off to just about everyone. And then as I count, Jasmine Dunn, 7 points, Kayla Walters, 6 points, Jasmine Fisher, 6 points, Hope Hopkins, 7 points, Carmen Vasquez. So right now, scoring contest, and of course Caitlin Mankins, the leading scorer for the Lions, 9 points. Abby Mankins, just a tough night, but hey, 4 games she was excellent. You're bound to just have a game that sometimes it doesn't work out, and she had 6 points tonight.
Balanced scoring by the Wolverines. Great defensive call to come out from zone to man. Made the difference. Wolverines go home with a win tonight.
Absolutely. So again, a 14-point win for the Wolverines as they improve to 6-3 and 5-0 in section play, and keeping pace with Latrobe. And Greensburg Salem drops to 5-8, 2-7 in section. And that's all for us on the Roxamore Sports Network. For Dr. Karen, Coach Hall, I'm Ty Polk, and we say good night from Churchill. And be sure to check out the Rock Comedy Show, Episode 2 at 9 p.m. on the Roxamore Events and Entertainment app. Good night, everyone.